Hello, happy Tuesday. What's up, y'all? What is up? What is up? Welcome to this month's online YouTube vocal workshop. Happy May. Today, we will be talking about recording session preparation. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to flood in. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and we'll get started in like a second. A second. Let's see. Let's see. I just got done doing a really cool TikTok, by the way. Follow my TikTok if you guys aren't yet. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm also going live on Instagram for a hot second. What's up, Instagram? Meet me over on YouTube for our workshop today, our monthly YouTube vocal workshop. Today we're talking about preparation for a recording session. So if you guys have any comments, leave them in the comment section. Have any questions, let me know. And I'm going to get started. I see we have some viewers coming in. All right. So I wanted to do this because last month I talked about preparing for practice and chorus practice or rehearsals with the band or any kind of praise team rehearsal, any kind of practices you might have. And I was thinking, other things you could get prepared for being an artist, being a singer is a recording session, like knowing how to prepare for that and getting ready for that. So basically, a recording session is something a recording artist would do. If you are a recording artist and you are trying to record your own demos or an album, EP, get some songs completed professionally. You would go to a recording studio and there would be an engineer and they would record you in the booth with the microphone and all of that jazz. So these tips will be helpful if you are looking to do that, or if you are currently doing that, and you want some tips on being more effective with it. And on Instagram, if you guys are on Instagram, meet me over on YouTube. All right, so there are different types or purposes for sessions. I'm an artist. I'm a singer, songwriter, R&B soul artist. So I do recording sessions and I've learned some things throughout the years of doing them. A lot of things actually. Failed at, beginning and learning how to make it better and all that kind of stuff. So these little different ways of having a recording session. The first for me is a demo track recording session. It could be you just going in and cutting a demo. This could be if you are a songwriter and you are trying to pitch stuff for sync or whatever. You just want or pitch to other artists that you might be wanting placements for your songs and whatnot. You might go in and record a demo track for them to eventually maybe cut later. There's a track to be mixed or mastered, mixed and mastered. So this is when you go in and it's like the final track. It's like, okay, I'm going in for the purpose of potentially most likely releasing the song. So I'm going to do my absolute best in recording this. There is the first draft of a track with the lead vocal. So this might be, say you don't have all the time in the world, but you have a couple hours and you want to go in and just get the leads down and get the main part down. And maybe the next time you come in, you finish up the track with the background and vocal arrangement and you get that done. So different ways of going about doing a recording session. When I will definitely break down what I do when I have a recording session and how I kind of like a planner. So I like to know exactly what I'm doing when I get in there. So I'm going to go through all that. And I want to go through the duration of a session. Normally, the minimum, if I'm having a session, like a real session, it's 4 hours because it takes time. It's not just you singing, it's also an engineer in there that is moving things around and making sure everything is in its right place and sliding the chorus over. And you might be doing multiple tracks. It's not just you go in and you sing the song all the way through and you're done. You might be punching. There's many different styles of recording too. I won't really get too much into that. But a lot of rappers these days, they punch like punch in record. That's how you say it, I'm not sure. But they punch in or whatever, and they might do line by line. I like to do it where it's like section by section. So like verse, I'll do the whole verse. If the verse is just like too much going on, I might do half the verse, half the verse. And then even with that, there's comping. I won't get into all that, but basically, there's different ways of going about recording that can take time. It's time consuming. So you don't just go in and just cut it and you're just done. It takes a lot of time, especially with the editing, and you want to go come out the booth and listen and hear what you did wrong and go back in and all that kind of stuff. So I would say at least 4 hours. And a lot of studios, they have like packages or discounts, like if you do like 8 hours or whatever. And that's like, I would say, get a few songs in if you're going to do that, if you're going to do a whole 8 hour session and whatnot. And then also with the engineer, they also might do some light mixing on your record so it sounds decent. There's some reverb, there's some, EQing going on, there's some stuff like that. So the duration of the session is really up to how much you're able to pay and how much time it actually takes you to get done what needs to get done in a recording session, because it is a very time consuming process and can be very tiring and straining on the voice. So I'm going to get into how to prepare all of that. So know what you're going to do. Have the song memorized so you can feel it and it doesn't sound like you're reading a paper and singing with no emotion. Yeah. Just, I don't know if you've ever had to do like a speech in school or like memorize a poem or something to recite. They always say memorize it. Like don't like try to read off a paper. It just doesn't give that feel. It sounds like so like emotionless, especially when you're singing. Like it does not sound like you're connecting with the lyrics at all. When I record, by the time I record, I know my song so well. I go in and I'm like, okay, I know what I'm emoting. I know what each line means. And most time, well, all the time I write my songs, so I know where I'm coming from emotionally anyway too. But also just like looking at that paper can be hindering from like just getting that emotion out and really feeling it. So that's another way with recording it, where it's not just like all the way through, like recording small sections. It's like you really can get into the emotion of whatever those couple bars are saying. Go as far as having the background harmonies laid out. So for me, and I'll get into how to do this and how I do this, but yeah, I like to know exactly what I'm getting myself into. I like to know exactly what I'm about to go in and accomplish. And of course, I leave room up for interpretation and freeness and stuff. But I kind of like to have like, okay, this is the main idea. And if it sounds good, it does. If it doesn't, then I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna try something different. But I like going into the studio prepared because I'm spending my money and my time and the engineer's time, and I don't want to waste anybody's time and my money. So I'm going in there ready to work. So my steps to recording a completed song to be mixed and mastered. And if you're on Instagram, come meet me over on YouTube for the rest. All right, so getting off IG. All right, so with that, record a rough on voice memo. So that's the first step that I do. When I songwrite regularly, like daily. I literally record I record the final, like once I have everything written, I will record it on my voice memo as like one song, because it can be a little confusing if I have like a bunch of voice recordings from one song or one day, and it's like 20 voice recordings. It's like kind of hard when I go to do a demo. Like what is this? I have no idea. So May vocal workshop. All right, so I'd make sure I do that. And then, oops. How did that happen? 1 second, guys. I have no idea how that happened. All right. All right, so after recording my rough on my voice memo on my phone, I record a demo. So I record myself. I have a mic. I invested in one. I had one before the pandemic, but I invested in a nicer one that I actually do real recordings with. and it's like a virtual mic, and it's dope. It's great. So I use that to record a nice demo. And with that demo, I am really focused in on giving the best vocal production that, I'm not super anal about it, but I'm just like, okay, like let me like really sing it how I want it to be sung. I'm thinking about the tone I want everything to be in. Like, is it soft? Is it strong? Like, am I singing falsetto here? Like, what are the words? Like, really just paying attention to how I want it to come across. So also adding in my background vocals, rough ad libs, harmonies, all of that is going to be in there. With the ad libs, I really leave that mostly for the real recording session, because that's something I have to like get into. I have to listen. I like to listen to my song a lot after I cut the demo and just kind of really feel it and feel like what makes sense for the ad libs. But I do a like a very like rough track of like ad libs and incorporate some and just see how it turns out. And some of them I might end up doing in the real one, some of them I might not. I might scratch and completely change it. The harmonies, most likely I keep them, unless I go back and I'm just like, oh, something doesn't work, or I might want to add more. So I just like having that option to do the demo. Live with it. So I live with it for a few weeks. I may get inspired to change it, may not like it enough to record it for real. So this happens quite often. Like, we write, as a songwriter, you're probably used to writing a lot of songs. You're not going to necessarily go to the studio and record and spend money for every single song you write. That's not, because not every single song you write is going to be amazing, So you just want to make sure it's like really good. So even with the voice memos that I do, there might be some voice memos where I'm like, that was cool. I'm not even gonna worry about doing a demo because it's not worth it. Like, it wasn't that good. But some of them, like, okay, this is good. I'm excited about this one. So I'm gonna go do a demo. And then from the demo, I can kind of hear like, does it work? Is it really worth going to a recording session and doing that? And I do, and it's pretty cool to do that. So I also may want to change my lyrics or the melody, and this often happens more so with lyrics, um, because I might find that I used to write way more wordier than I do now. I used to just like, I like, I don't know, I'm a very detailed person. So I like to put everything in the lyrics, and sometimes it just didn't work. It just didn't work. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna cut this. I cut the ends and the buts and the little words that nobody needs. You get the real juice of the meaning by the core words. The melody might change it, might keep it the same, but it's like listening to it over and over, like hearing like, does it even go? Like, does this note, does it make sense to go high? Does it make sense? Does it go with the flow of everything else? Does it mesh with everything? And I just listen, like I'll, have a playlist of songs, listen in the car, every so often, and just listen and see like, yeah, I'm feeling this. And my thing is, if I'm feeling it and I still like it like a week or so later, all right, I'm gonna go do the demo, or I'm gonna set up that real recording session. Schedule the recording session ahead of time. So this is so you can plan for it, so you can be physically, emotionally, and mentally ready, because it takes a lot. Okay. So just make sure you give yourself at least a week. In most places, studios and stuff, you have to book ahead of time anyway. You can't just like walk in and just be like, yeah, I want to book a session. Like, you usually book ahead of time anyway. So just giving yourself that time. And there's reasons why I say this. So let's go over what to do the day of. After you've done all of that previous work, you have everything down, you've done your roughs, you've done your demos, you know exactly what you want to do. The day of your recording session, listen to the demo a bunch of times, like depending on how well you know it. Like there have been times where I might be doing a couple songs in a day, and it's like, one of these songs I'm not really all the way sure on, or whatever. And it might be, want to make some last minute tweaks. You just want to make sure I got everything memorized, and the melody and the lyrics and stuff. Memorize my harmony so I'm not wasting time in the studio. I would take my laptop with my session on it. I would record myself in Logic, and I would take my laptop and have everything there so I could go and listen real quick to my harmonies. Even if it's like recording it on a voice memo like that day. So I'm like, okay, this is real quick. So I don't have to like go through weeks or however long ago I wrote the song and try to find the memo that might not even be titled correctly. So yeah, just memorizing my harmonies so I know like, okay, when I go in here, I know exactly what words I'm harmonizing on. I know when I'm harmonizing and what the notes are. Eat light and healthy because what you eat does affect your voice. And if you have voice lessons with me, if you've had voice lessons with me, you would know that what you take in definitely affects your voice. So drink tons of room temperature water. Duh, like room temperature water is the way to go. Anything super ice cold is not going to be helpful, and all that. So closer to the session, like an hour or so, within an hour, get some vocal healing tea or a throat coat. I actually used to make vocal healing tea for my studio. And I was used to have like a garden plot somewhere, and I would go like plant. Like I had like access to all these herbs. It was just really cool, and I got into it. This was before the pandemic, and it was a spearmint tea, and I put like all the good things for your voice, like ginger, licorice root, a little bit of sage to relax you. It was just like a lot of good stuff. And I made my own. I don't sell it or make it anymore, like for the public, but you know, vocal healing tea was pretty cool. Throat coat, my favorite throat coat, and I'll show you. I will show you. I will show you. Because I have it here that I use. It's traditional medicinals. Traditional medicinals. Yeah. Uh, I don't with the lemon. I sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't do it with the lemon. It either way, it's fine. But basically, like the lemon, if your throat is mad, like phlegmy, lemon is good. It kind of balances everything out. And then I just like it. It tastes good. It tastes really good. I don't need any sugar, any honey, anything with it. It just is fire. So I use that, and I clearly have it in my studio because if I'm teaching for long hours or singing or practicing or so I record in my studio. If I'm doing that for myself, I have that here so I can be ready. I like to make sure my voice is ready for it. And I do that, you know, within the hour. So my voice is, you know, ready and relaxed. I don't talk as much that day. I don't sing and do too much with my voice. I really try to save my voice for the session. So what you should take is tons of water, your lyric sheets just for reference. Hopefully you have it memorized, but just take your lyric sheet for reference, demo for reference, healthy snacks. With the lyric sheet, I would take that because maybe you might get some feedback from the engineer, or maybe, you know, it might be cut a certain way where it's like, oh, it overlaps or whatever. Like, it's just good to like see like, okay, well, I need to adjust, or if you don't remember something. The demo, I usually listen to the demo on the way to the studio. I listen on the way because it just gets my mind ready. And it's funny if I'm in the car and it's like I'm with someone, they just know like I'm in my zone. I'm over here. And I'll do some warm-ups with you guys at the end really quick, some little easy quick warm-ups that I normally do before a session. Healthy snacks, like it could be a long session, 4 hours or more. It can be a long session and you might be hungry. So just some healthy snacks, like not anything that's going to disrupt your voice. Do light warm-ups and maybe run through the song softly a few times. I have this thing before recording and before performing. I would go through like a mental rehearsal or like practice where I would go through in my mind, I would go through all of my notes and my words and stuff. And I might be listening to the track, but I'm not singing. It's just a way for me not to use my voice, but I'm mentally like preparing myself. So anyway, preserve your voice because in a recording session, you most likely will do multiple takes of small sections or lines, like I said earlier. Other things you do not want to do. Don't suck on cough drops. You probably have heard that cough drops are good for your voice, but they're actually not. They dry you out. So you have to get the right ones. If I find the link to the ones, they're not necessarily cough drops. I forget what they're called. They're on Amazon, but they're for singers. And if I find the link, I will put it in the description so you guys can have access to that. And it might, yeah. Anyway, consume anything that will, do not consume anything that will make your voice phlegmy or too dry. So that's like, try not to smoke, try not to drink alcohol. All those things will dry your voice out and just strip anything good to help you sing. Um, don't drink lemonade. I've tried it. Chick-fil-A lemonade before singing does not work. Anything super sugary, donuts, anything fried chicken, all that kind of stuff. It adds phlegm, cheesy stuff. Adds phlegm to your throat. And when you're recording, you want to give the best vocal production you possibly can. It's not like you can do it again. I mean, you could do it again if you want to spend all that money again, but why ruin your one chance? Like, just be ready, have your voice ready, and don't mess up your voice before your session. After the session, rest. Okay. You deserve to rest. You deserve the vocal break. Honestly, I would take a vocal break and just like chill out and not say as much and do as much. So I want to do a quick little warm up. Basically, when I have sessions, I keep it really light. I keep the intervals small, and I normally do lip trills, hums, all that kind of stuff. So let's do a descending 5-note scale on a lip trill. If you can't lip trill, you can hum. So either or whichever one works for you. 1, 2, ready, and real quick. Sorry. Clearly I'm not sitting in front of a piano the day I might be because I record here a lot. But I might be in the car going somewhere. I might not actually be able to physically like play keys. But if you have an ear and you can hear the steps, do 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 do. So if you can hear those steps, that's really helpful. I do a lot of warm-ups when I'm not even like playing any notes. I just hear it and I go in intervals of a second. But that's a quick little thing. Also, something I always do in my voice lessons. Electro Glissando. Glissando is an Italian word. It means slide, slur. So if you're playing piano, that would be a glissando, but with a voice. Do that high to low. Do it a couple times. Go ever as high as you wish, but not too high. Whatever feels good for you. It's a nice warm up to like relax everything. And I do a lot of like low, like little small little things around, not too high, depending on what I'm singing. It just depends. And warm up your voice based off of what you're singing. If you're about to sing really high, do a whole bunch of like warm ups to warm up that high voice. If you're about to sing like your whole register, make sure you warm up your whole register. Let's do. And I only do a few, like maybe 5-10 minutes. It really depends on what time of day it is and how much my voice actually needs to be warmed up. But a lot of the times, if I warm up enough, like 5-10 minutes before a session, maybe 15, I am low-key kind of warming up as I'm getting into the session. So like the first couple takes are kind of like a warm-up because I'm singing full out. I'm getting my voice like ready. So the first couple minutes of a session could feel like a warm-up too, but you just kind of be ready, do a pre-warm-up and whatnot. But yeah, I hope these tips were helpful. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos, for next week's workshop, do you have any questions? Not next week, next month. And I have to see if I'm going to be doing next month. I will keep y'all posted. If I'm not on here, I'm not doing next month. Just because June is such an odd month. It's also my birthday month. But it's just a weird month. School's out, everything's kind of shifting and changing. But yeah, just let me know if you guys have anything. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys follow me all social media at I am Skylar Reed on my artist pages and my studio page, Skylar's Music Studio. And if you want to work with me one-on-one or you want to check out any of my online courses, I have 2. Go check it out on my website, skylarsmusicstudio.com. All right. Peace, y'all.